So, been having a relaxing Sunday morning on the couch. Again, working on video edits and just enjoying some quiet time with Donnie. I'm headed into town now, into Fuquay, to just run a few errands, nothing special. Normally, I would get Johnny or possibly Joey to run to town with me and spend a few minutes, but don't have that option today. The boys sound like they're having a good time in New York, so that's good. We still have not figured out exactly what we want to do for a dash cam in the X. It's sort of a thing to install the wire so that it's totally hidden. We had one dash cam in the car. It was an inexpensive one, but really good quality video, and it died on us a few days ago. So we've now, Donnie has temporarily or possibly permanently, I don't know, moved the dash cam from my Honda Odyssey minivan into the X, and so I have dash cam video again, hopefully, but we still are finessing the install, so I really don't want to show that too much. Will say though that you know, Don had to pull the dash cam that was sort of glued to the Odyssey windshield off, and he watched a video from Techmoan where he showed using floss for your teeth to kind of get behind there between the camera and the goo and the windshield, and slowly go back and forth and work your way to get it off. And between getting the windshield a little hot by putting it in the sun and using the floss, Don was pretty easily able to get it back off the windshield. So that video, which I'll put in our video description, did really come in handy for us as far as moving this somewhat permanently mounted dash cam from one car to the other. So anyway, I am just going to go to town and enjoy myself for a few minutes and see what I see. These plates are so beautiful, but there's only 2 dinner plates and I need at least 4. Found this beautiful shirt for Michelle too. Picking up a few silk ties for crafting. And I got this really cute little flower bracelet for me. So I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I reached for my phone. I checked on a few things, including going into the Tesla app to check on Ruby's charging status. I was really surprised to see an error message that said that charging was limited and that the charger may not be plugged in correctly. It was, however, charging, said it would finish within 5 hours. Was charging at 11 miles per hour instead of the normal 15 miles per hour overnight charge rate that we get, but it was charging. So I decided to take a screenshot of the error message and go back to sleep. This morning I showed the error message to Don and sent him out to check on the car, and Ruby had finished charging successfully. She was at 239 miles, or 80% of the battery, like we have her set to, so that was good. But when Don pushed in on the charger, it did go in farther. It was not apparently in all the way. So because we were doing a scheduled charge, when I plugged the car in at night, the port stays that white blue color. It doesn't go green or orange like it would to give you feedback that everything was okay or not okay if it's going to start charging right away. So I just didn't know that it wasn't in. I guess I still continue to be too careful about charging the car. Like, I guess I'm afraid it's going to break, or I'm treating her fragile because she's new. But I, you know, just need to remind myself to really push it in and make sure that it's in all the way. But no harm, no foul. No harm to the car. Car was ready to go when I needed to, so that's good. And what happened last night is we had the car charged in when we came home from seeing the sunflowers, which was like 6:37 p.m. But we had a severe thunderstorm threat and some pretty serious, you know, rain and stuff come through. So we had, I had gone out there and unplugged the car. And then when everything was cleared and, you know, the system was past us last night, the frontal boundary, I went back out there and I plugged Ruby back in. And that was right before I went to bed at midnight. So, you know, I'm going to claim being sleepy when I plugged her in as for causing the problem. But anyway, so be careful with plugging the charger in or you might be surprised. You do have to give it a pretty good oomph. So I mentioned earlier today that we had a dash cam failure with the one that we had temporarily mounted up here. And so Don has moved the one from the van, the Odyssey, into Ruby now. So we're ready for more dash cam. I'm going to go in the house and check out the footage that we got today. This is actually 2 mounts. It's a temporary situation while we trying to decide what we want to do long term, but it'll work for now. So I think we're good.
Yep. This suction cup mount was for the other dash cam. This dash cam is designed to be mounted with the double-sided foam VHB tape. But I had VHB tape because when I took it off the other one, obviously that destroys that VHB tape. But then I put it on here, but it's the VHB tape I have is gray, and from the outside that gray tape looks kind of so they make black VHB tape, so I'm gonna order some black VHB tape to stick this onto the windshield, assuming that we're happy with the performance of this camera and don't decide to get another one. But right now the suction cup mount, which happened to work pretty well with this one, but the length of that, it could cause the camera to shake. So we'll have to see how it works out.
So we have 4 dots, an Echo, and a show device from Amazon in our house. And with this latest update, you can now use them as an intercom within your home. So you can have one device call another device. Well, there's quite a few times Don's in the garage and I want to tell him it's time for dinner, or I need him to come in the house. Or there's times when the boys are back in the game room and I want them to come out for dinner or come out and do something. So I want this call feature could be super handy. So I've just renamed the devices. The one in the garage was called Picard, Captain Picard. So I've renamed it to Garage so we can all remember it now. And I'm going to try calling Don, who's out there ready to test this. So, Alexa, call the garage. Okay.
So I've installed the dash cam. Oh, hang on a second.
It's home.
Alexa, answer. Hey.
Hello. It's time for,
Hey, sweet pea.
it's time for you to come in for dinner.
Oh, way cool. My favorite thing.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. So you got it all sorted out there? You can hear it, you can answer it, you're good to go?
Yep, good to go.
All right, that's great. So come on in, Alexa,
Yes.
end call. So it's not just
Way
for
cool.
house to house or
Chow
people in
time.
your contacts, but it's also between devices within your own home. This is going to be really handy.
Okay, this week we went 257.7 miles, used 97.3 kilowatts of electricity for an average of 378 watts per mile. At 7 cents per kilowatt, that means those 257 miles cost us an average of 2.64 cents per mile. Now, on the actual power meter on the wall, we used 154 kilowatts for an average of 598 watts per mile, which is a cost of 4.18 cents per mile. Our charging efficiency is down a little bit. It's 63.18. So the actual true cost this week for electricity was $10.78. If we would have had an ICE car at $5.05 a gallon and drove it 257.7 miles, it would have cost us $21.13. So our operational savings this week was $10.35.